Good evening, good evening, good evening. How you guys doing tonight? Hi, Nana. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Glenda. Hi, Matt. Hi, Richard. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Tam. Hi, Susie. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Tia. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Minnie. Hi, Matt. Hi, Brodney. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Latif. And of course, hi, Tobin. How you guys doing tonight? Hi, Jody. I just seen you come in here. Hello, hello, hello. Please share the stream out if you're in here and hit that thumbs up button. It really helps the algorithm and it helps us get out there. Hi, Susie. Um, that's how we get reach because otherwise Facebook is shadow banning us like crazy. So it takes 2 seconds to hit that thumbs up and it definitely helps us a lot. Looking at Ukraine though tonight and today, a lot of air raid sirens. I mean, a lot, but not of actual, a lot of activity. A lot of air raid sirens, a lot of warnings, of course, going off. Satellite, of course, images of events that have had, or of troops, Russian troops, but nothing actually happening out there. Yes, this is a great shirt. If you're a 3%er, go and get one. Skull and flag. Definitely stand for your country. But like we said, air raid sirens 6 hours ago was the last one that went off. Of course, that we know of right now. Further sanctions. And the further sanctions are getting ridiculous now. Now we're sanctioning diamonds out of Russia and seafood. Like those two things are their money makers. No, it's oil and natural gas. Let's be honest. We know where Russia makes its money. We're seeing a relax in oil prices, but the relax is only temporary. Yeah. As 9 million people locked down and over 9 million, that's another city that they locked down of 9 million for COVID. As a new strain of COVID is hitting, of course, China that we have not seen yet, which who knows what it's going to be like. It's snowing in Tennessee. Yeah, it's cold for a lot of the Midwest, and of course, East Coast will be beginning it this weekend. Expecting a lot more of that. Treasury, of course, the sanctions that we're putting on. Here's the problem. There are very few countries actually enacting these sanctions. I mean, we can put sanctions on people all day long, but it doesn't affect anybody but us. It's affecting us as our country. Our country is being affected. I have not seen any biosuits. So if you guys seen biosuits, please let me know where you're getting that story from because I have no actual reports of any biosuits that Russia's bringing in. And I think that's a bunch of malarkey or fake news again. But like we've been talking, there's a lot that's happened today in Ukraine, but nothing really, no real attacks. There's still banks operating in Russia, of course, saying they're winding down operations, but still, Russia is selling stuff at an alarming rate. I don't trust ABC News as far as I can throw ABC News. I really do not. ABC News has blown stuff out of proportion that was said in a back room at a meeting with a conference with some shady people many a times during this situation that we're following here. And this wouldn't be the first time that we've heard fake news come out of ABC or any other one of these mainstream media companies. As we know, of course, they're the ones that started rumor that nuclear radiation was leaking everywhere, and it wasn't. Like they started now that they're saying that Chernobyl was leaking radiation, but the international environmental people said that radiation is not leaking. It doesn't exist. I mean, that story is debunked. Yeah, we're going to be covering Trump live tomorrow, but we'll be on Rumble. I'll let you guys know about that later. But we will be covering Trump live there on Rumble. Lots of stuff, not really, like I said, nothing really happened in Russia today or in Ukraine. We believe Russia could, this is the statement that came out. And this is what people are turning into biohazard suits and everything else. The U.S. and the UN believe Russia could use chemical or biological agents for assassinations as part of a staged or false flag incident to support tactical military operations. Now, the U.S. is saying this at the same time that we got exposed for biolabs in Ukraine and said that this could be a threat if they attack these biolabs and something gets out. Now, why would we be concerned if there is no biolab? That's the big question. How can we be concerned about Russia attacking a biolab and something getting out if the biolabs don't exist? Because, see, that statement is a double-edged sword. You cannot say we have to protect the biolabs in case in case Russia were to attack them and something were to get out. If they don't exist, they don't exist. You can't protect something that doesn't exist. And you can't switch the narrative. You can't keep throwing false flag. Russia's going to do a false flag with biological agents or chemical agents while you're stating that they're afraid that Russia's going to attack one of these facilities and something's going to get out. I mean, it's just catch-22 there. It doesn't make any sense to me. Hi, Brian. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Karen. Hi, Bill. I just seen you guys come in, so make sure I said hi to you guys. Of course, Zelensky's putting his patty face on again because Poland won't send the jets in from them because they know it would bring them into war. They know that would bring them directly into war. This is not any benefit to any country to, of course, jump into war with Russia. No matter how gravely ill we feel that Russia's acting or how bad they could be on the circumstances we're following. The effects on America are great. Greatly felt. Hi, Behringer. Just seen you come in. Hello, Sherry. It is crazy, though. The effects on Americans right now, over the last 2 months now, Americans are paying $200 or $300 or more per family to survive month-to-month basis. So if somebody's on or disability benefits or Social Security, a lot of our family members or friends, are at that age or have to deal with those benefits. If they're only receiving the $800 a month or $900 a month, and it's an extra $300 a month to live, where are they going to get that money from? When do we say there's a big problem? There's a big, big, big problem. This is going to affect millions of Americans, beyond millions, hundreds of millions of Americans in the long run, between fuel costs and rising food costs, rising power costs, now rising interest rates on your loans, which interest rates rising on loans, a lot of people say, well, I don't have a loan, I rent. Well, think about this. When somebody's renting, somebody is paying a mortgage on that property or owns the property. And if the interest rates go up 2 or 3%, somebody's got to cover the difference. The owner's not going to say, oh, I'm going to pay the difference and let you live there. No, they're going to raise the price, which is going to affect everybody. Yeah, please share this out if you guys can. We only have 10 shares and 27 reactions. There's like 56 people in here. So just hit that thumbs up button or hit that share button, please, if you guys can. And then, of course, we got Ithaca AI. This is kind of scary AI that's been released. It's a DeepMind AI that is helping decipher ancient text. It has the ability to truly think on its own and decipher what actual graphics mean to language, which changes the boundary of everything. Right now, it seems pretty safe. It's only been deciphering damaged ancient Greek text, but it could easily lead to something more. It is an online system. It is an AI that is online and fully able to learn. I know a lot of people in the past have warned about when AI gets to that point, when you can allow it on open internet, it'll be dangerous. Well, we're at that point. And in the middle of a war, so nobody's even paying attention to what's happening there. And if people don't think America's involved in this war yet, we are. When we decided we are going to try to close the skies of Ukraine slowly and surely, we decided we are going to be part of this war. We are going to put our people in harm's way. True AI is ridiculous. It should never be allowed online. True AI. 3 left in your mortgage, then just taxes. Live on your own property for life. Yeah, you just got to pay taxes on the property. You already paid taxes on the money you used to buy the property. And they can raise the taxes as much as they want because, John, let's face it. You're one person. They could say 1,000 people voted differently. Bad. Yeah, I can see you shared it, Deborah Martin, and Rodney shared it. It gives me alerts when people share it. But you must have shared it a bunch because you're on here a bunch of times on the list, and I see Rodney on here. You pay $3,800 a year in taxes? That's cheap. Oh my goodness. John, you must live up north somewhere. I need to get out of this. Oh, it doesn't say you shared, John. Well, the alerts just aren't sharing your shares, though. You must have shared it to a private group. If you share it to private groups, it does not show. I know. Facebook's retarded. But anyways, even people like this, and MarketWatch. There's a MarketWatch story that came up today, and it really hit me because a lot of people are having to face this fact right now. This is a story. It says, my wife and I have $7,500,000 in savings and earn about $144,000 a year. Can we afford to spend $5,000 a month on housing? And $5,000 sounds ridiculous, but if you're where I live, $5,000 is not ridiculous. And if that's 30% of your income, you can't afford it. I mean, literally, you can't afford it. People don't understand that literally you would have to have $5,000 a month. You would have to be making $15,000 a month in order to cover that rent. And that's not including utilities and anything else. So if you add those in at $5,000 a month, you can't afford those kind of prices. I mean, even the cheaper homes where I live, like the bad area of town, is still $2,000, $3,000 a month to rent. People are paying that plus electric, water, and taxes. That means they have to make like $1,200. $1,200 or $12,000 a month, not $1,200. $12,000 a month in order to afford that. People can't. That's not acceptable. You can't make that on a minimum wage job or even a lower income job. But that's what's happening here in Florida, and it's happening a lot of places around the United States right now, and it's affecting everyone.
1 in 7 children does not have enough food to lead
It
a
is
healthy
literally
and
affecting
active life.
everyone in a drastic way, and people are having to figure out what they're going to do about it. How they're going to come forward and how they're going to move forward out of this. The government is literally choking people. Raising interest rates right now, I mean, they're trying to control inflation, which it didn't help. Raising interest rates is going to produce a scale that's never been seen before, where people lose their properties, lose their homes, lose their place they rent. Because the United States wants to put more pressure on another country. But the pressure hits us harder at home than it does their own country. It is hitting us harder at home than it is hitting Russia, our sanctions. And it is sad. It is sad. Where are we going to end up after all this? I don't know. We do not. The faith I've had in our country and the belief I've been standing on slowly gets just destroyed. Yeah, you pay taxes on stuff you own, and they could take it if you don't pay your taxes. So, can you, Debbie, can you imagine having to pay an extra $400 a month because that's what is projected by the end of the year? An extra $400 a month is what your household will have to pay. How are people supposed to survive? That's my question. How are people supposed to survive at that rate? As Americans go forward and we push through all this, and we hope to be better. We're at 8% inflation last month and 8% again this month here in the United States, and it's almost 8%. How are people supposed to go forward and move forward and say, hey, I can do this. I'm going to get better. That's what I'm saying. Where are people going to come from? Where are people going to make this extra money? Where are the people in the United States? How is this benefiting us in any way, shape, or form? How are these sanctions that are punishing Americans left and right benefiting anybody? I mean, we're talking our national disaster relief funds going to the Red Cross. Of course, our money that goes to Red Cross goes around the world, our natural disaster relief funds that go to them. And right now they're in Yemen because of the issues we caused there. Now they're going to be heading to Ukraine. They're going to be heading everywhere else. He's taking a hard stance against Americans, Elizabeth. That's what he's doing. Yeah, you got a 5.9% raise on Social Security over the last 40 years. Let's be honest. The problem is getting an RV, you still got to pay for your lot rent and everything else, your electric, your gas, your propane, which you use a lot more propane than you think heating your home if you live up north or even down south, trying to heat your home or cool your home, using more power, more of everything. The government's corrupt at this point. It's not just our government, it's world governments that are corrupt. And we can honestly say that because you can look around and try to find one country that truly cares about its people and puts its people first. I mean, there's a story out today about the total number of deaths from COVID could be as many as 18 million. A COVID study finds 18 million deaths. 18 million deaths, 3 times the official tally. As many as 18.2 million people probably have died from COVID in the first 2 years of the pandemic. 18 million. That's not the number we've been shared or we've been told. Those are the true numbers, though, coming out tonight. And this is the first study that's been truly peer reviewed since the pandemic begun. Truly counting lives across the entire world. South Africa, of course, when they try to bury the numbers. Yeah, hanging up keys because they can't make a profit. James, it's going to get bad before it gets worse. Yeah, many. I have all those studies. I'm gonna do a big thing once Pfizer has to force to release theirs, which is coming up. I'm gonna go through all the studies and talk about that all over on Rumble. This is gonna affect everybody. I mean, people that are paying and people that are on. Here's the problem: a lot of people right now are on variable rate mortgages because mortgage rates have been good for so long. That's what mortgage they sold you. They sold you a variable rate, which is great when rates are down, which are awesome when rates are down. The problem is when rates start to go up, when the federal rate's 1%, you're looking at a ridiculous rate increase on the private side. So if you're paying 1%, or say you were paying 3.5% on your mortgage rate for APR, and now you're going to 6.5%. Your monthly payments are almost double now. Your monthly payments for your mortgage will almost double. Yep. Connex containers are the best. Connex containers are the best. Fuel shortages will be an issue. Food shortages, supplies of every kind. Anyways, if you guys want to call in and talk about what do you think this is going to affect, or how is this affecting you right now, please be happy to call in. I'm more than glad to talk here and have conversations live. It's just sad. It is sad. Us Americans are going to face the biggest consequences. Interest rate was 13%. Yeah, imagine it going back to that. And you're on a variable rate mortgage right now, and you're paying 3%. And you bought a house for $500,000 because you could afford that 3% on $500,000. Now imagine paying 13% on that $500,000 home. People aren't going to be able to afford it. This is what happens, and this is what happened with the housing crisis back in 2008. And we thought that was bad. This will be 100 times worse. 100 times worse. Yeah, meat is going to be easy to find, John, because a lot of people have stopped hunting. A lot of people have stopped hunting. A lot of people don't even know how to hunt anymore, which is great for me, great for us hunters out there. Of course, not so great for anybody else that doesn't know how to hunt or. I think the New World Order might have thought about this as a plan, but this has gone too far for even them to recover. Gonna be hard. You got a 6% fixed. I'm glad you locked in. I'm glad you locked in at 6%, Karen. A lot of people didn't lock in. A lot of people said, I'll take the variable rate because it's 3 or 4%. Those people are going to have a hell of a time when it's 14, 13, 14%. They're going to be biting the bullet and having a terrible time. Oh, yeah, you're going back to Bama, aren't you, Alex? Squirrel is delicious, especially if you know what they're eating, because you get some fresh squirrel that's been eating acorns, you get the nice sweet acorn flavor. Oh, it's going to be hard. It is going to be hard going forward, whether you think she's pitiful to watch or whether you think our government's going to be able to somehow recover from this. Um, the selling off of U.S. currency that's happening at alarming rates shows where America is heading. If we lose the dominance of world currency, our inflation rates will skyrocket very fast and become astronomically out of control. As China is moving towards a gold backed dollar, which they're trying to move to right now, if they actually achieve that, they could easily take the world currency over without a question. They'll become the dominant currency in the world. And then, of course, us trying to limit what our people can do, like on trading crypto and everything else, is not helping us. Yeah, I eat everything. I ate all the pizza. I'll make fresh pizza. Australia is shutting down banks and ATMs. And it's not just Australia. The UK today started shutting down ATMs. The UK started shutting down ATMs today. I don't know if anybody is in the UK. Is anybody in the UK that's here right now? I'm sure there's somebody. Or even in Europe. I know a couple of European countries besides UK were working on shutting down ATMs today. Something big is happening. World pizza is yummy, but it's sad. Yeah, if the Chinese take over world currency, our dollar will become worthless or pretty much worthless. When an ounce of gold is worth $15,000 and it's worth $1,700 right now, I mean that's almost a 10% deduction or 10% loss of value, or 10 times loss of value, 1,000% loss, 1,000% loss in currency value. Yeah, there is heavy shelling going on. There's no report yet. It's not come up yet. Map here. Hearing the same thing. There's heavy shelling, but nothing's showing up yet on the map. Sad. The U.S. Reserve was once holding Russian gold. We no longer hold the world's gold like we used to. That's a big thing. That's changed a lot. China's transported their gold out from our reserve that we held in there for them. I think it was almost 20 years ago. There has not been an audit on Fort Knox, which there's supposed to be a public audit. There has not been a public audit on Fort Knox for a long time. We're way past the audit point and what's supposed to be happening. Yeah. Well, if the feds make a crypto, the crypto is not going to be worth anything. It's only backed by what people are willing to pay for an American dollar, even if it's a digital currency. Even if it's a digital currency. And here's the problem. If there is no paper money, people will not use a digital currency. Yeah, the home I live in, I pay over $8,000 a year in property taxes. It is ridiculous. How can they? No gold. That's the problem. We can't even say there's not any gold, and they keep claiming that we have all this gold in Fort Knox, and that's how the Americas stayed so high and mighty all this time. Well, think about this. Try to go to the bank and empty, oh, I don't know if you guys have like an IRA or a big account that has over $20,000 in it. The bank will not have the cash. The bank doesn't have the cash available. Literally, you have to put in a request days ahead of time to get big currencies, big amounts out. Yeah. Still nothing coming out. The heavy shelling that happened in Kiev was earlier today, 7 hours ago. That's the only heavy shelling I could see coming out of Kiev. Yeah, it takes them days to get your money. If you want to take a large sum of currency, you have to call them days ahead of time, and they have to get that transported to them in order to take it out. And it's just getting worse and worse because the number was, I think it was, I could pull out 50,000 a couple years ago, no problems. Anything over 50, they had to have a couple days, and then it went to I think 10,000. And now it's down to like 2,500. You go into the bank, and if you're trying to take out more than 2,500, they want you to call ahead of time and make an appointment to withdraw your own money. Take your own money home. It's just, it's happening. Well, Alex, actually, if you pick up any two-stroke engine, you can make alcohol and burn alcohol through a two-stroke. Burn pure alcohol. And if you're wondering where you can find a still to make ethanol, fuel grade ethanol, not alcohol. Make sure I say this right so I don't get in trouble. There are plenty of sites online that you can buy a still to make fuel grade alcohol. Yeah, they run background checks on huge withdrawals. They run background checks to have huge amounts in your bank now. If you do a transfer, like sometimes I transfer quite a bit of money and I get transfers in. I run a security company or cyber security, so a lot of those transfers, they want background checks on the transfer. Where'd the money come from? Where's it? Why are you getting it? Why are they paying you this much? You take a check to the bank for $25,000 and you try to get it cashed. They want to seize it. They want to take it away. The government just says, "Oh, well, we think that currency's been involved in drugs in one time of its life." Well, it's digital. It's not even actual paper currency, but the government tries to seize money. Yeah, national security. It's a joke. It's a joke. Our government Dude, Alex, you know what to do. Crazy times we live in, though. Crazy times we're heading towards as we watch our economy slowly devolve. It's just ridiculous. Police are warning drivers to protect against gas thieves as oil prices soar in the United States, but try to find a lock-in gas cap. I don't know if any of you tried to go buy a lock-in gas cap in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, they want to try to control cryptocurrency. The problem with cryptocurrency is there's still numbered accounts. There are still numbered accounts. I use numbered accounts on cryptocurrency, and they cannot track it to any one person, and it's a paper wallet. So good luck, because nobody can get into it if they try to. They're never going to get through with 16 different passwords. Yeah, people are actually doing that, screwing padlock clasps to their vehicles. John, people are actually doing that at this point. That's something else. If you guys do not know, um, a great way to have gas to at least cook food and do minor things at your home is get a bio bag that literally uses food waste or food scraps to produce natural gas, Brown's gas, that you can use to cook food with. It's methane. Literally, it's a methane digester or whatever you want to call it. Methane composter. If they have the bio bags on Amazon for you guys. Basically, it looks like a giant balloon, I guess, that holds liquid on the bottom, and the gas goes up to the top. You have to push a button to open your gas cap. I hate to tell you that button you push, if somebody reaches under your fender, they can pull the metal cable and open your gas cap as well. Tobin, you're probably okay. Yeah, it won't happen here. That's what people have been saying. It won't happen here. Inflation won't happen here. Last year, when I've been talking about the prices going up and inflation was going to be bad, it's not going to happen here. I had so many people come on the show and talk on the chat. Oh, that'll never happen in the United States. We're never going to get to that point. It's never going to be that bad. It is that bad. People are already facing it. It's never going to happen here. It's the question that happens every single time. Or people, here's what happens, Elizabeth. People take your gas out and put water in your tank, and then it causes your car to be really weird. Because then you get a little bit of tiny water that draws up into your siphon tube and then makes your engine stall. But at the same time, you have gas going in, so it makes your engine run. Whole process there. Yeah. I think breadlines already happen in the United States. That's the sad thing that people don't realize. 1 out of every 7 people in the United States go to a food pantry. 1 out of every 7 people right now are having to go to a food pantry every month. One out of every 7 people are already going to food banks every month to provide for their families. So talking about breadlines, that's not even a question. It's a question of how many people are going to be at them, waiting in line to be able to eat. Because they can't feed their children, they can't feed themselves. And it's sad because this is the truth. As people say, it's never going to happen, but it's already happening. You can't say, well, do you think breadlines are going to happen? Or I think they're going to happen. They're already happening. We have massive amounts of food banks, like unlike any other country. But we say, oh, Americans aren't starving because this, that, or the other thing. I have a question. Why in the world do we go into a grocery store and pay more for process or pay less for processed food than raw goods? Go into the grocery store and try to buy fresh vegetables and fresh meat to make a meal, and then go to the freezer section and find something that's frozen with all the meat and the vegetable within it. And I guarantee you it's cheaper to buy the frozen shit that's been processed, has everything, the same stuff you were going to buy, plus a whole bunch of sugar and a whole bunch of garbage. It's cheaper to buy the garbage with the meat and the produce and the vegetables than it is to buy the actual fresh vegetables and meat. That is a sad, sad sign. I don't know what company you're talking about that uses plaster as a filler in bread, but that's far from the truth. That is far from the truth. Yeah, well, the meat's not necessarily the best quality meat, but you can even buy the cheapest quality meat for the price you buy the frozen garbage. Literally, you can't even buy the cheapest meat. Flour is bleached. A lot of flour is bleached. It doesn't make it any worse. You got to remember, it's used with a lot of stuff. Even meat's treated with ammonia gas, which is safe. Oh, over about 100 years ago, yeah, they did use fillers. It's just sad. John, if that worked for me, I would be pushing it. I tell you, I eat one meal a day, and now I'll test this. Tonight I had a plate full of broccoli and sauerkraut, and yes, I had 2 hot dogs. Bad, I know. Usually I don't have hot dogs the first time forever. That's my normal meal once a day, is something like that. Doesn't help me lose weight. Drink water and sugar-free tea all day. I don't drink anything with sugar or sweets. Perfect film for you guys to watch this weekend, and I suggest you do, is Red Dawn. You know, bring back the classics of what could happen in America. Red Dawn, of course, is one of my favorite movies that I've ever seen, but unfortunately now it's looking like it might actually be a Red Dawn. Definitely, though, check out Red Dawn. Great movie to watch. Yeah, well, they changed a lot of filler ingredients here in the U.S. Unfortunately, that'll change the taste drastically in a lot of stuff. Or the day after, yeah. I just eat broccoli, just steamed broccoli, nothing on it. I just eat it, or steamed cauliflower, or steamed or spinach. Yeah, the new one you can't even watch the new one, Karen. The original is the only one to go with. I drink regular tea too. Red Dawn is Red Dawn, not Code Red. Code Red is a submarine movie. I don't eat salt or margarine on my veggies. The original Red Dawn, the original, the remake is garbage. The remake is garbage, I think, but that's just my personal opinion. And broccoli with melted cheese? No, 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 no melted cheese. I know we're way off subject tonight. Oh boy. Yeah, that's an awesome way to have clean, fresh water. I mean, it's common here in Florida to have them because hurricanes, when they do come, you can't use water out of your sink for usually 2 to 3 weeks if you get any flooding in your area that causes any problems. So those bladders are common use here in Florida, in South Florida at least. The old Command and Conquer Red Alert. Who you sending one to, and who's sending what? Yeah, easy way to filter fresh water. Easy way to filter fresh water is start a fire. Takes when the wood gets nice and charcoal, actually put it out, crush it up really fine, and then you take sand, charcoal, some pebbles, sand, charcoal, some pebbles, make several layers of that, and when you run water through it, it actually filter it out. And then you still got to boil it though. You still got to boil it. Yeah, well, now what are we going to do? We all have fuel efficient vehicles. I mean, except for the RV that I have. Everything else is fuel efficient out there. Even bigger vehicles are fuel efficient. They're getting 20 or 30 miles a gallon. You have a Berkey filter? Well, on my RV, I have a life filter system that when I draw water out of lakes and stuff, but I don't have to boil that. But I'm going to sign off here tonight, you guys. I know life is not going well. It's not the greatest time. You guys can afford to donate, please do. We're still raising money for charity. Like I said, we're trying to raise money for my brother's surgery. He has to get his retina reattached so he can even see. Sad times. So if you can afford to donate, please do. Yeah, drink salt water, have diarrhea, dehydrate really quick, John. But I guess if you want to go that way, you can. At least you'll be delusional and happy. Yes, I will be on tomorrow. Not long, but I will be on tomorrow. I'll check the inbox. You guys have a blessed night, you guys. Stay strong. Stand tall. And God bless America, and God bless all of you. Have a wonderful night.